Modern feminism, in a lot of ways, had us as women take a gamble and we lost. We took the bait that being sexually promiscuous and having no standards and no self respect was cool and in. We decided that we would give men access to our bodies and our time and our energy without them having to put in any effort. We have allowed men to do the bare minimum for so long, and we still give them benefits that they don't deserve. And so now men are following suit, and we are confused as to why this is happening. It's okay to want a man to lead and support you, but you have to understand that we collectively as women set the tone. So if the tone of the dating market is that all women are easy now and that men can pretty much get whatever they want and do whatever they want and still get access to us, then that's what the majority of men are going to do. There are plenty of men who are good men who love women and respect women and honor women. But even those men, if they are single and there are women out there that are throwing it at them, they're going to catch it. So just ask yourself, what kind of woman are you? And are you contributing to the problem? Are you the kind of woman who is allowing men to be low vibrational and contributing to this idea that all women have low standards and that men can do the bare minimum and get away with it? Or are you a woman who's leading by example and challenging other women around you to do the same by operating from a place of self-dignity, self-respect, values, standards, strong boundaries, a woman who knows her worth? Before we start whining and complaining about what they aren't doing, let's take a look at what it is that we are doing.
I like that, right? I think she's making a lot of fantastic points, but one of them, I think that where she falls short is you have this idea that men are automatically going to be attracted to women, not someone automatically attracted, but put them at the forefront of their lives. That women are the reason that men are getting out of bed, that they're getting jobs, that they're succeeding in life. There's a growing subset of men that just say they're not interested. They're valuing their peace, or they've done it. They've done it. They've been married. They've gotten divorced, or they've have friends that have experienced that, and they've simply said no. Yes, does being more liberal and throwing that sex out there, making it more readily available for everyone, lower the market, lower the cost, or like lower the stock? Yes, it absolutely does, and we've seen that. And what we forget is that societally, things have a trailing effect. You make a change, society makes a big sweeping change. You don't really see the effects for years, for generations. So here we are 25 years later or so, give or take, and we don't like what we see. The solution is equally going to take quite a bit of time to get there. So before we continue, guys, hit the like button, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss new uploads. Still trying to do two a day for October. Sticker series continues. We might have to drop that moniker in a little bit, but there's a couple things that she said that I wanted to go over and talk about. One of those, like I was just saying, that we have this presupposition that all men are interested in a relationship. And if you open up social media or you just have conversations with a lot of men, especially those that are older, 30 plus, a lot of them are saying, I don't want to do it. Like, I'd rather just be by myself, date occasionally if that's what it is, and just value their peace. Women have been saying that for such a long time that men sort of, adopted that or have gone through enough experiences on their own to say, oh, yeah, you might have been on something. Peace is probably the mainstay thing that I'm looking for. As we have a more interconnected sort of society, we get to see what non-peace looks like. We get to see examples of people being drugged through the courts, right? Everything is available now. People in courts, people fighting, domestic calls, um, property damage, and again, this is genderless. You see it on both sides. And people are saying, yeah, I'd rather have my peace. We're witnessing some of the most dysfunction being called out again and again and again. And people are absorbing that, consuming that, and saying, yeah, maybe I don't want that at all. But to bring it back to her point, yes, I think women were sold a bill of goods that were kind of sour, and I think some of this stuff is often well-meaning, but in reality, what really happens, right? You don't understand, or it wasn't understood that this independence that you were so what you're balking against, the lack of independence, that we sort of bit off so much more, and the pendulum is swinging to the other side now, where you're saying, okay, The independence is good. Bank accounts, the voting, all that, the jobs, all good. But the sexual liberation and making this everything seem okay has ruined the market. It's made what was once so intrinsically valuable common. So now men naturally they're going to rise to a level of challenge, but if there's no challenge, there's really nothing to rise to. So what happens on a larger scale when you have women like her saying, you know, she's going to raise the bar, she raises the bar for herself. She has her standards, she has her boundaries, she has the things she believes in, her beliefs that she holds to. What she finds is a market that is running away. You know, it's a runaway train, and it does not care for any type of object in its way. I have friends that are, waiting to marriage and they're 40 plus, um, before engaging in anything like that. And I often tell them like that's commendable. It's difficult, right? It's difficult because the market doesn't bend to individual whims. If on whole you don't have a tipping point, you don't have enough people saying and influencing the game, the market, dating, then it's going to continue on upon the trend that it's continuing on. And right now, we have a society that is leaning towards this. Just make it. You can do what you want. That's what society is saying. Said society is saying God is dead. All is permissible. Do what you want. There's no consequences. And if there are consequences, shame the person trying to say there's consequences for that behavior. Sex and in all its forms is more and more readily available. And before it was from a profession. Now it's literally the girl next door. It's the one you went to high school with. It's the nurse that just took your temperature. OnlyFans is rampant, and its other allegories are there. So we're not moving to us in a direction where we're trying to make sex more valuable, more exclusive. We're liberalizing it. We're making it even more commonplace. So it's hard to now be able to change gears and say, pause. Let's put the brakes on this. Let's get enough people together. All right. Let's get that talented tenth, that tipping point that you need to start changing the whims of society. Let's get them together and change the game. Meanwhile, there's going to be people, a larger and larger, the majority are still going to kind of adhere to however it's been. They're going to seek pleasure and it's seeking its own level. You're going to find people that, yeah, want to simply engage in that. You're going to find other people that are repulsed by it. And then everyone else in the middle. So it's well meaning and it's going to take a generation to sort of change it. Because again, these things have trailing effects. You make that change, and then maybe in 20, 25 years, we can start seeing the changes of that. But for us millennials, we're kind of cooked. This is our market. If you want better, you just have to sift through what it is here. There's no way to make that happen. There's no way to keep your hands clean. You're gonna have to be in the mud with the rest of us. It's unfortunate, but this is sort of what it is. Unless you can build you know a specific app or create a community where this is the beliefs we adhere to and we keep to, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, but I think it's still going to be worth it. Right? I want to leave that on a positive note. If you agree, why don't you check out one of the videos that you see below your screen? If you don't agree, still check out one of these videos you see below. I'll see you guys on the next one.